Hello students. Today, we're setting off on an exciting journey into the fascinating world of triangles. They're simple shapes with 3 sides and 3 angles. Let's start by talking about the different types of triangles based on their sides. First up, we have the equilateral triangle. This one is special because all its sides are exactly the same length, and so are its angles. If one angle is 60 degrees, the other two must be 60 degrees as well. Next, we have the isosceles triangle. It has 2 sides that are the same length, and the angles opposite those sides are equal too. Finally, we get to the scalene triangle. None of its sides are the same length, and all 3 angles are different. Now, let's classify triangles by their angles. In an acute triangle, all the angles are less than 90 degrees. In a right triangle, one of the angles is exactly 90 degrees. And last but not least, we have the obtuse triangle, where one angle is greater than 90 degrees. Here's a property. The sum of the angles in any triangle is always 180 degrees, known as the angle sum property. So, if you know 2 angles, you can easily find the third one. Have you ever noticed what happens when you extend one side of a triangle? You create an exterior angle. This exterior angle is equal to the sum of the 2 opposite interior angles. Let's talk about congruent triangles. If 2 triangles are congruent, that means they're exactly the same size and shape. Their sides and angles match perfectly. There are several ways to prove that 2 triangles are congruent. All 3 sides are equal. SSS, 2 sides and the angle between them are equal. SAS, 2 angles and the side between them are equal. ASA, 2 angles and a corresponding side are equal. AAS, for right triangles, the hypotenuse and one other side are equal. RHS. Now, let's dive into some important properties of triangles. If 2 sides of a triangle are equal, their opposite angles are equal too. The length of any 2 sides of a triangle must always be more than the length of the third side. It's a property that keeps triangles balanced and stable. Now, one of the most famous ones is Pythagoras' theorem. It says that in a right triangle, the square of the hypotenuse, the longest side, is equal to the sum of the squares of the other 2 sides. Its formula is h squared equals p squared plus b squared. Another theorem is the midpoint theorem, which tells us that if we draw a line connecting the midpoints of 2 sides of a triangle, that line will be parallel to the third side and half its length. And then there's the basic proportionality theorem, or Thales' theorem. It says that if a line is drawn parallel to one side of a triangle, it divides the other 2 sides proportionally. This helps us understand how triangles break down into smaller, similar shapes. Speaking of similar figures, similar triangles have the same shape but may not be the same size. For triangles to be similar, their corresponding angles must be equal, and their sides must be in proportion. There are a few ways to prove similarity. If the angles are the same, AAA. If the sides are proportional, SSS. If 2 sides are proportional and the angle between them is equal, SAS. A fact about similar triangles is that their areas are also connected. The ratio of their areas is equal to the square of the ratio of their corresponding side lengths. From learning about different types of triangles to diving into their theorems, we've covered a lot today. Here's a fun question to wrap things up. Can you tell me if it's true that all angles in an equilateral triangle measure the same? Let me know in the comments. The complete curriculum for Class 10 is available on our channel. Check out all the links provided in the description below. Please make sure to like, share, and comment for more such videos.